All right, Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to you. How about Shemel Washab, Hashem Kakadash. All right, this is going to be part 2 of this video because my phone closed out and stopped the recording. You know, damn kids. But we getting into the article. This is, once again, the title of this article: The middle class is increasingly becoming the impoverished class, and the poor are increasingly becoming pushed into the streets. It's like the poor are increasingly being pushed into the streets. It says America's middle class is being systemically eviscerated. Let's look up this word, eviscerated. Search web real quick. Eviscerated, or eviscerate, disembowel a person or animal, deprive something of its essential content. So quality of life, is being eviscerated. It says when the Federal Reserve pumped trillions of dollars into the financial system during the pandemic, most Americans didn't realize what that would do to them. That money certainly made the wealthy a whole lot wealthier, but it also dramatically increased the cost of living for the rest of us. So now inflation has been rising much faster than paychecks have, and the cost of living has become extremely oppressive, exceedingly oppressive. Slakia. In fact, last year we witnessed the largest decline in real median household income in more than a decade, and people are noticing that. Everything's going up, but your pay. All right, which means what? People can't afford to live, right? The cost of living is going up so much, but people's pay isn't going up. They paying people pennies on the dollar, man. They're not paying people to beat out inflation, nor do they really want to. So that's going to create an issue. It says the official tally is in, and it's brutal. Americans suffered the biggest drop in household income in 2022 in a dozen years, 12 years. Real median household income was $74,580 in 2022, a drop of 2.3% from the prior year, and the Census Bureau said Tuesday. This is the biggest drop in household income since 2010, when household income fell 2.6%. That means it is worse than the pandemic decline of 2.2%. It is fourth worst year in recording going back to 1985. In 2010, the U.S. economy was just coming out of the horrible recession that had just experienced in 2008 and 9, and that was the housing bubble crash, and that put a lot of middle class people into lower class, man. A lot of people lost their houses during that time. It says these were not fun times, and the times that we are moving into will not be fun either. I mean, they're gonna far exceed, the 08 or the .com bubble or the crash of in the late 80s, right? It says that the times that we're moving into will not be fun either. It says we are being told that high inflation is the primary reason why real median household income is falling. The declines were driven by high inflation. The measure of inflation that is used to calculate real income rose 7.8%, the worst inflation since 1981. And 1981 was a long time ago. But at that time, the U.S. economy quickly recovered under the leadership of President Ronald Reagan. It says we will not be so fortunate this time around. Our leaders flooded the system with giant mountains of money, and almost everyone cheered as they were doing it. But now we are paying the price. Recently, a Gen Z mom named Jessica McGabe made headlines all over the world when she posted on a video on TikTok in which she expressed how frustrating it is to watch her adult children deeply struggle in this economy. And that it has what she, said. I'm not going to read that. I'm going to jump down. It says, unfortunately for all of us, the rules have changed. What worked in the 1980s and 90s simply does not work today. In her video, she acknowledged that the struggle is part of life, but she also said that it is so disheartening to see her kids get further and further down, no matter how hard they try. She continued, I see them struggling, and before my generation comes at me, yes, I understand struggling is a part of life. We all struggle, but there's a difference between struggling and drowning. So we struggled, and it was tough. But you know what? We made it. And I actually saw this video. It says we knew that there was a light at the end of the tunnel in our with our struggle. Right. See, people, they weren't in the time of Babylon being destroyed yet. All right. And I'm gonna pretty much stop reading. You can continue that article if you want to. It's like it real quick. Damn leg bleeding, Slakia. There we go. See, people are starting to see that there's not a light at the end of this tunnel, which means what? Everybody can kind of feel that this is the end of an empire. This is the end of America, Babylon the Great. And that might be bad news for the majority of you people, but that's great news for us. That's great news for us. All right? We rejoice at the end of this and destruction of this wicked-ass society and this wicked-ass kingdom. We embrace it. All right? We're praying Yahweh Shem Shah brings it sooner, man. Because the sooner Esau gets kicked out of power, as the scriptures say, let's go ahead and grab it real quick. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 6. And verse 7, it says, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth? And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So we have everything to look forward to, man. We have a kingdom coming. All right, we're going to rule the whole universe in righteousness. And we're never going to die. Nobody else will ever experience what we're about to experience. So we embrace it. But right now, as watchmen, we keep track of what's going on in the economy. And people are struggling. Inflation has not reversed itself. Soon it's going to become hyperinflation. Right? You got to get into economics, man. All right, there's a whole thing going on with BRICS and the petrodollar, and most of the people are just completely oblivious, all right, and don't know what's going on, especially amongst our people, man. They have no financial literacy, all right, because, hey, back in the ancient world, man, each family was like a business, men owned land, traded goods, had to be decent with your money, So you had to have a certain sense of financial literacy. They don't teach you this shit in school, man. Budgeting checkbooks and having a budget and whatnot, which we know we're not going to have a budget in the kingdom. But, that's just basic stuff that people need to know and understand, but they don't. All right, the consumer debt is high as fuck. Debt amongst these women, student loan debt. All right, people have taken out money, went into debt just to get a college degree, to pay for it, to get a job, to pay for the damn debt, man. This is bizarre world. This is ass backwards. And now it's coming to a head, man. All right, and eventually all the dominoes are set up, and it just takes one little tap for all the dominoes to come down, man. I always refer to it as like a Jenga tower. A Jenga tower. If you know that board game Jenga, where you can have a tower and they made a little blocks, and you go and you hollow out the blocks, and you're gonna keep hollowing out the little building until you pull one and the whole thing comes crashing down. Well, the Lord has been setting things up, and those blocks have been being removed for years on end. All right, the Lord said, when thou set thy nest among the stars, then will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. And Apostle Dahar said that's when the Lord began bringing down Esau's kingdom, when they started setting up these satellites in the late 60s and early 70s. So ever since then, they've been on the decline. Think about the wars they've been involved in. All right, the wars they've been involved in, all that. Hey, they've been losing, man. They lost in Afghanistan. They pulled their troops out. Al-Qaeda, I think, took over that. Either Al-Qaeda or ISIS, one of them damn groups. They lost in Vietnam. They pretty much lost in Iraq. And now, hey, they're supporting Ukraine, and Ukraine's losing in on their front, man. So Esau's being brought down on all sides, but if you're not paying attention, you're gonna miss it. But see, now it's starting to touch people, man, because they, when you take away the mirth, which is spiritual too, because There's a lot of bread and circus going on. Same thing that the Rome had set up, all right, to keep people from revolting. Like the old saying goes, give them bread and circus and they shall never revolt. Right now you got soccer going on. Basketball season gonna start back up. You got baseball. You got hockey that's about to start up. You got tennis. You got football, the heavy hitter. You got, man, I just, and I watch football, but I noticed, like tonight, you got Thursday night football. People go to their jobs from 9 to 5, and then they, do whatever, but they don't really have time to actually think, and then what? Saturday, all day Saturday is college football, and then all day Sunday is NFL. That's not for no reason. That's when Esau can really go and do shit because nobody's paying attention and nobody's on their watch, but we are. See, we can watch those different things, and we're just not totally enamored by it. You go to Jake. Jake can tell you all the stats from all these different fucking players, but they don't know who they are as a people. We understand that. We understand that this is the end of this damn age, man. This is the end of Esau's world. And we embrace it. Hey, going into Jeremiah 51. Babylon is not going to be healed. The Lord is bringing an utter end and destruction to this place, man. And once again, I can't stress it enough. We embrace it. Call how about Shemi? I was shot for that, man. All right, but we're seeing, going back to the title of this article, the middle class is increasingly becoming the impoverished class. All right, living paycheck to paycheck. Even if you have a high salary, that don't mean shit. Still living paycheck to paycheck. Your expenses still exceed damn near your income. And it says the poor are increasingly being pushed into the streets. Evictions, people not being able to pay their rent, pay their bills. See, the Lord is going to protect us, though. We might have financial hardships, We under the curses, but the Lord looks out for us, man. The Lord, keeps a roof over our head. He gives us our daily necessities, man, as we continue to serve him. But you people, you're out here without a covering. You don't have a covering. And you people really about to feel it, man. You think you're lamenting and groaning now. Just wait till it really sets in. All right, we'll see. So, Lord willing to Zedephon, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah, by Hashem, Kakadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, who rule well, and peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Till next time, Shalom.